In this picture, we will discuss the oral cavity. It is the outline of the oral cavity. Oral cavity is also called as mouth cavity. It has two parts. The anteriormost is called as vestibule, or in Urdu it is called as kalla. It is present between teeth and lips and laterally between cheeks and teeth. क्लियर? ये जो लेक्चर के दौरान बहुत से लोग च्युइंगम वगैरह साइड में रख लेते हैं, छालियाँ वगैरह साइड में रख लेते हैं, वो वेस्टिब्यूल या कल्ला कहलाता है। क्लियर? या नस्वार जो लोग खा रहे होते हैं वो वेस्टिब्यूल में मौजूद होती है। मावा, गुटखा, ईच all such things are taken within the vestibule of oral cavity. Anyway, and this part of the oral cavity which is behind the teeth is called as oral cavity proper. Clear? And the oral cavity posteriorly opens into the oropharynx. What is oropharynx and what is pharynx? Pharynx हलक को कहते हैं, and the part of the pharynx which is present behind the oral cavity is called as oropharynx. The part of the pharynx which is present behind the nasal cavity is called as nasopharynx, and the part of the pharynx or halak behind the larynx is called as laryngopharynx. So we have three parts of the pharynx or halak: the nasopharynx behind the nose, the oropharynx behind the oral cavity, and oropharynx, sorry, laryngopharynx behind the larynx. Clear? Now, this is the real view. This one is the vestibule. This is tongue. This one is the oral cavity proper. The partition between oral cavity and nasal cavity is called as palate. It is not pronounced as plate, it is palate. Clear? And this one is the pharynx. The three parts of the pharynx are nasopharynx, which is behind the nasal cavity, oropharynx behind the oral cavity, and laryngopharynx behind the larynx. So it is clearly mentioned that the oral cavity has two parts, the vestibule and the oral cavity proper. फिर डाइजेस्टिव सिस्टम के लिहाज से ओरल कैविटी से ग़िज़ा कहाँ जाती है? Into the pharynx. And pharynx has three parts. Behind the nose is the nasopharynx, behind the oral cavity is the oropharynx, behind the larynx is the laryngopharynx. फूड पैसेज के लिहाज से pharynx के कौन कौन से पार्ट इन्वॉल्व होते हैं? The parts involved in the digestive system is the oropharynx and laryngopharynx, and pharynx continues downward as esophagus. Clear?